This is Ashley Hodge and Derek Mitchell with a post-game call-in show after Baylor's 84-72 win over the Auburn Tigers today. It was a terrific game, just an entertaining game. And I thought Baylor just went on that tremendous run in the second half, got up by 21, kind of coasted near the end, only won by 12. But hey, it was a solid victory over a team that was really a hot team coming into this. They had won 4 out of 5 games before this game against Baylor, and Baylor just did what they do. They take care of business. They played great defense. They lit up a little bit too many buckets inside, I thought. But I thought the perimeter defense was outstanding and really held Auburn to a low three-point percentage. Derek, what are some of your thoughts? What did you see?
I agree. We gave up too many easy buckets on the inside. But our guard play is so strong that, all guards had a good game. But if 2 guards are off, the other 2 more likely going to be on. But I just think that we're just too strong and ttoo deep. But once we figure that interior defense out, will be tough to beat.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing that Jared Butler was 1 for 8 from 3, and I think Maceo Teague was 1 for 5. And yet, the 3-point shooting was still really good, thanks to Adam Flagler. Davion had his 3-point game going. Matthew Meyer made a lot of big threes. He had probably the most entertaining play of the game. The follow-up dunk after awesome. Jared Butler's corner 3 was something. Do you remember the West Virginia game last year when he did the something? Yeah. He gives you some highlight moments for sure, and that was all over SportsCenter. So that's going to be fun to watch after we get home and watch the replay of this game. But for those, I didn't introduce you properly, but Derek is Davion's uncle, and so you've been watching Davion Mitchell since he was a little kid, and you watched him at Auburn, and you've watched his evolution at Baylor. What have you seen from him as far as his improvement since he's gotten to Baylor?
First of all, I've never seen anyone work harder than Davion.
Yeah.
I've been coaching Davion since he was 5 years old, and you got to kick him out of the gym.
Yeah.
He's always in the gym. Davion, rest your body. Okay, I'll go rest for an hour and get back in the gym. So his improvement, he has to improve because he wants it so bad. So he wants so bad. He studies a lot of film, and he lives in the gym. So it's just night and day from the way he grew up, and he's just getting better every day.
It shows. His footwork is elite. Just the way he gets balance and gets a shot off, and we talked about this on the last podcast, but his shooting percentage is terrific.
Yeah.
But it would be even better if he wasn't getting the ball at the end of the shot clock a lot of times. He had to take the desperation shot today. So you have to factor that in. He'd be well over 50%. If it weren't for those shots. But I know, and I know he wanted probably that double-double, and he should have had it because he gave a lot of nice assists, that just guys missed shots that they would normally make. Like Jared had a couple wide open ones that he was just a little off today as far as his 3-point shot. But Jared played terrific. he overall good game from all our guards. Jack, we have any calls yet? No calls yet. Okay, we'll keep talking. So obviously Baylor's now 16-0, and you can't go. I think I've calculated it's actually 35-0. I always say 36-0, but it's I think unless we make up that Gonzaga game, it's going to be 35-0. But you can't go 35-0 till you go 17-0. So we got Texas next.
Texas on Tuesday.
That's going to be a big one, and I'm sure we'll talk about that on the call-in show. But we don't really know who's going to play for Texas. But that they have that one circled. Baylor's beaten Shaka 9 out of 11 times. Scott Drew has, and so they've kind of owned them. And those guards are upperclassmen. It's going to be a war because they've got some pretty good guards themselves, and probably a little bit stronger on the interior than Baylor is, at least on paper. We'll see how it works out in the game. Going to need a really big game from our bigs. Flo was good today. Flo had 11 rebounds, which was outstanding. Obviously frustrating that he didn't finish a couple of those easy ones. The one that. Was it Maceo that gave him that one?
A little dump down easy? Yeah. You
Yeah.
just got to get a little strong around the basket.
Right.
A lot strong around the basket.
No doubt. Mark was a little off today. Mark did some great things. Had the 2 big blocks. The defense was awesome as normal.
Right.
But he wasn't his normal active self on the glass. He only had 2 rebounds. Probably kept a lot of possessions alive, just from boxing out and getting so much attention. That's the one thing you don't factor in is Mark gets so much attention from other defenses.
Right.
They're like, keep that guy off the glass, and then that helps, other guys get offensive rebounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Any other observation? Adam, Adam.
Oh, it was great.
19 points, but 8 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds. Huge. Wow. No turnovers. Ken Palm's had him at 168 offensive rating. He was the best on the team today. Davion was 151. Terrific day from Davion from an efficiency standpoint. 7 assists, 1 turnover. Hard to beat that. I mean, that's awesome. And then Matthew and Jonathan were both really big. The bench play was tremendous. 38 points off the bench. And I think if you compare that to Auburn, Auburn only had 16 points off the bench. So big advantage for the Bears there.
What was the rebounding? I know we got out-rebounded, but what was it?
No, 43-43 at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, but they had a big advantage in the first half.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I think they were up by 8 or 9 in the first half.
Yeah. So the second half, the Bears evened it up, ended up grabbing 17 offensive rebounds. Pretty similar stats, actually. Auburn had 17 offensive rebounds as well. Wow. And the big difference was the 11 for 30 from the 3-point line for Baylor and 6 for 25 for Auburn.
Yeah, okay.
And Sharif Cooper, the best offensive player in America, that's what they were saying coming into the game.
Air quotes.
he had, he had 15 points, but only an 88 offensive rating, 4 turnovers. So he was a little quiet, scored a lot in garbage time, but just a great game by the Bears. We got a call. You're up on the SicEm365 post-game call-in show with Ashley Hodge and Derek Mitchell.
Steven from Kyle.
Steven, how you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Kate. Just popped up. I'm sorry about
that. Okay, that's all right. Kate, are you on the line?
I'm on, Ashley, yeah.
Oh.
And
is this Kyle? Who's this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We butchered your name.
Yes.
Hey, Kyle, how you doing?
That's on me. That's on Jack.
No, that's okay. I recognize your voice.
Doing great.
Yeah. Thanks for calling in. What were your observations? Kyle knows her basketball. She was on the post game podcast a few weeks ago.
Well, I just we just shot the ball not like as well as we usually do,
right.
And had we been just even average, it would have been a runaway. But love Matt Meyer today, love Davion today, love Flagler today, and my question to Davion's uncle is there's been a significant improvement. There's been a significant improvement across the board for Davion, and I just want to know what he worked on all summer because it shows. I mean, everything he's doing is excellent.
Yeah, his offensive game's been taken to another level.
Yeah,
Derek.
The main thing he worked on was his feet. We looked at a lot of film, and he can tell when he was shooting, his feet were pointing out, and they weren't pointing the way they should be. So he worked on a lot of footwork and getting his feet set every time he shoot and try to shoot the same shot. So all summer, that's all they worked on, trying to get the same repetition every shot.
Well, the last time I was on there with Ashley, somebody was saying, well, I'm a little worried about Davion shooting, and I think Ashley will tell you for sure. I said, I'm not.
Right. Yeah, he was in an 0 for 12. He was in an 0 for 12 because you came on after the TCU game, I think, and he was in an 0 for 12 stretch. But he's certainly lit it up from 3 since then.
Terrific.
Yeah.
So,
and I think a
lot of hard work and it pays off.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the difference this year.
All right, I'm gonna sign off. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
The difference this year and last year, Davion would shoot, and if he misses his first couple shots, his confidence is gone. So the difference this year, if he misses his first couple shots, he keeps shooting, or he'll find another way to get somebody involved, or he'll attack the rim. So that's the big jump from last year to this year. It's a confidence booster.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah. All right, we got a couple text questions. So we got another call.
Yeah,
Jack. All right, let's take this call.
Yeah, this is from Batman in Waco.
Who knows who this is? Batman, you're on with the SicEm365 post-game call-in show with Ashley Hodge and Derek Mitchell.
Good evening. It's actually Statman, not Batman.
Statman.
I'm sorry.
How you doing, Statman? Break it down for us.
I'm doing fantastic. I was at the Farrell Center with Mike Dunham, and tale of two halves, obviously very close and competitive in the first half. What kept Auburn within striking distance was their out-hustling Baylor and winning the team rebounding battle. But I thought the first 8 minutes of the second half is where Baylor put some separation on the scoreboard. And, I'm looking at the box scores. It's nice to see 5 players finish in double-figure scoring. And maybe Davion Mitchell obviously had a solid performance with his 13 points and 7 assists. And like you said, he could have had a double-double, but still a very good overall performance by him individually. And Adam Flagler had a great scoring first half, and then Matthew Meyer had a great second half in scoring, and you'll take 17 assists against 9 turnovers most games and feel good about Baylor's chances of winning.
Yeah, good point. I mean, they did a really good job protecting the basketball, and some of those turnovers were kind of late in the game, a little sloppy, but when it mattered, they took care of the basketball, and Davion's really gotten good last. He had a tough game, Kansas, but Oklahoma State 9 assists, 1 turnover, 5 assists, 2 turnovers in the Kansas State game, and then 7 assists and 1 turnover today, and the 1 turnover was the charge.
Right.
The charge. Right. I think Sharif Cooper has a PhD in flopping for sure.
Yeah, I like Cooper though. He's a good ball player.
Yeah.
If he gets a shot down, he's gonna be a good ball player.
No doubt. I just got an incoming text saying that our phone number is incorrect. It's showing 254-339-1122. Is that right, Jack?
I'm honestly not sure. Armstrong had this set up for me. So.
Oh, okay. Well, so it should be, for those listening, it should be. Oh no, I thought that was the right number. Well, whatever you tweeted out is probably the one that we need to have as the number. So disregard the one on the SicEm365 premium board and do the one that's been tweeted out by Jack and the SicEm365 account. Do we have that number up? Let's see if I can find it real quick.
I'm sorry about this.
No problem at all. I can't.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Derek.
Shout out to Miss Barbara B. Turnt. I watched her.
Yeah,
Macio's mom. She did a great job. I love that podcast. That was great.
Oh yeah. She was awesome.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, and she had a pretty good little tweet after the Oklahoma State game too. Doing that 12-hour drive, she had just had like a little minute recap,
Oh, really?
So I think she got the bug after doing the podcast.
Yeah, she's a pro now.
Yeah, she's really good.
Yeah, she's good.
So what else do we want to talk about? Obviously Matt, the energy he brought, I thought was terrific. He did some things in the first half that led up. I think his defense, a couple times, just wrong place at the wrong time,
right.
and then there was I think he had maybe a charge or did something. Oh yeah, the charge where he kind of pushed off on the baseline.
Yeah, that's right.
But then the second half, he had just a tremendous second half. He was big time. We got a call on the line. You're up with the SicEm365 postgame show with Ashley Hodge and Derek Mitchell.
Steven, how you doing?
Steven?
Hey guys, how are y'all doing? I'm really excited for this call-in show. I've missed some others, so I'm really excited to talk ball with y'all.
Yeah.
Always wanted to ask you some questions, and I got a question for Mr. Mitchell as well.
Awesome.
Right. If he'd be nice enough to really thankful, first of all, for everything your son and all of his teammates and your family have sacrificed to make this program great. So I hope y'all know that. For Mr. Mitchell, what's the biggest difference between Baylor and Auburn that has allowed your son to thrive the way he has? And if there was another player who felt like he was making a difficult decision to transfer, what would you counsel them to look for that your son found in Baylor?
First of all, that's my nephew. I'm his uncle. I'm Davion's uncle. That's my nephew. But as far as I'll go to the second question. As far as transfer, those who are looking to transfer, you got to weigh all your options. I mean, if you're not happy where you're at and you feel like, well, right now you can transfer, you don't even have to sit out. Davion had to sit out a year. But if you're not happy where you are and you're not progressing the way you think you should be, just weigh your options. Look at it and, sit down and have a talk with the coach. If the coach, you and the coach are not on the same path or the same wavelength, I don't see nothing wrong with transferring. First question. What was your first question again, sir?
My first question was, what is the biggest difference between Auburn and Baylor that has allowed your nephew to thrive the way he has?
One word, freedom. Freedom. When Baylor was recruiting Davion, when he transferred, Coach Drew, I sat with Coach Drew for hours, and he just said, hey, I just want him to run. I want him to run the show. I need him to be a scorer. If he's not going to score the ball here, he can't come here. He wanted the scoring point guard. He wanted the guard that gets everybody involved, and it was just freedom. At Auburn, it wasn't like that. It was like that in recruiting. We were told that's what kind of player Coach Pearl wanted, but when he got there, it was kind of different. Hey, I'm going to turn you to a defensive star. He gained 15 pounds. Davion was 220 when he was at Auburn his freshman year, and he just wanted to be a defensive player, defense, and wouldn't let him have the freedom that he has at Baylor. So, just freedom. That's the best answer I can give.
That's really great. And then my question for Ashley is, Ashley, I know that you're a devout Baylor basketball fan like I am. I've been a Baylor basketball fan long enough to be excited about Pat Dennehy transferring into this program.
Yeah, it's a long
so
time.
I wanted to ask you, I think a lot of times as sports fans, we don't properly get to appreciate things when they're happening.
Right.
And since a lot of these players may be either graduating or heading to the NBA afterwards, I think this is a fair discussion now that we're at 16-0.
Right.
Is this the best Baylor basketball team in the history of the men's program?
No
because
question.
I'm pretty close to saying that it is.
Oh yeah, no question.
Because I
mean,
I keep saying this on up tempo.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can stay with this team for 40 minutes. You might be able to be tied at half, but this team will overwhelm you, and they're just better than everybody else. So I wanted your opinion on that. And thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for calling in, Stephen. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think that, obviously you got to finish the job. But at this point in the season, through 16 games, there's no question that this is the best Baylor team that I've ever seen. And it's not even close. I mean, last year's team was outstanding. Right. This year's team is just another level better than last year's team. And all the advanced metrics say it. It's not like it's an opinion, really. I mean, it's more based in fact, based on, how bad they're beating teams and how efficient they are on both ends of the court. They're top 5 in the nation in defensive efficiency, top 5 in offensive efficiency. Baylor's never had a team like this. And, they're one of the favorites to win the national championship, and hopefully they'll get that opportunity. Thank you for the call, Stephen. So I have any other calls on the line, Jack?
Yeah, we got 3 on the line.
3 on the line. All right, let's roll through them.
Okay, T-Rex, you're up on the call-in line.
Hey, T-Rex.
Hey, you know who this is. It's Davion Mitchell's biggest fan, the T-Rex, the one and only. Hey, I just want everyone to know that, if that kid from Auburn is the number 1 player in the nation, then not only do I run a sub-5-second 40, but I am the number 1 football player in the nation, and Willy Wonka's chocolate factory is real, and, the freaking moon landing was fake. And God, you see where I'm getting at this? Yeah. All these idiots out there just want to sleep on Baylor, and that's okay, because guess what? Our pillows are really nice, so if you want to come over and sleep over, that's fine. We'll be busy playing and winning national championships. So that's all I got to say about that. I'm really hyped. I'm in town actually for a 21st birthday for a friend that goes to Baylor. I just thought I would, mosey on over to the Farrell Center and watch a little basketball. I didn't know I was going to watch a freaking genocide of tigers. Golly, man, somebody call the Habitat for Humanity or something, call Nature Patrol, call Steve Irwin. We got to save the tigers, man. Golly, man.
You and Chris were wearing you and Chris were wearing Poor Pearl Out, man. You guys, you're pretty hard on him.
That's good.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to his ex-wife Kim for opening up a hair salon with the alimony money and calling the actual hair salon alimony. I think that is a straight top move. You know what? It is what it is, Bruce. The last Bruce that came in, we try to show you on Wednesday. If your name's Bruce and you're a head coach and come to play us in Waco, you're going to get stomped. Some people, they need the warning, some don't. It's all right. That's, it is what it is.
Well, and I tell you what, I think obviously this is coming in on some text. I'll ask Derek this question if you want to answer it. But, what Bruce said, we don't need to go into why Davion decided to leave Auburn to go to Baylor. But can you answer the question, did Scott Drew do anything unethical or, across, that wasn't above the board in the recruitment of Davion to get him to Baylor?
No. Here's the thing. Baylor was the last place we visited. Baylor wasn't even in when Davion was transferred. It was all about Ohio State and Clemson. Those were our top 2 choices. Right. And then Baylor came. Actually, I didn't even talk to Drew. I talked to Tang. Yeah. So as far as I saw that Drew showing up, like that's nonsense. Never happened.
Yeah, it never happened. That was a weird comment for him to make, and
it never happened.
And I don't know why he decided. I guess there's some embarrassment because Davion's so good. I mean, he's one of the top 5 guards in the nation, and because he's so good, it's probably like, the reason he left is because he was recruited off my team. I mean, there's some like trying to save face, when he sees how well he's developed. But that was not a very high class thing to say in the media.
No, not at all. Yeah. No, that never happened. That's a false story.
Yeah. Anything else, T-Rex?
Oh, you know what else never happened? Bruce Pearl coming to Waco and getting a victory. That also never happened. Pick'em Bears.
All right.
I hope y'all have a good night. After party at Scruffs tonight. Everybody's going to be there to celebrate. Wear your mask, 25%. We're going to burn this town down because we're going to party it up. And then we're going to go down to Austin on Tuesday and light that place on fire. Speaking of which, real quick before I go, shout out to the men's tennis team going down and upsetting the number 4 Longhorn team, 4-1. Dropped the doubles point, got the 4 singles. Hey, Saturdays are for the Bears, baby. Sick 'em. I'll see y'all later.
All right. Thanks for the call. Who's next?
We've got Don.
Don,
you're up on the Impact Health Hub's call in line.
That's that Impact Health Lab. That sounds familiar. Hey guys, listen.
Hey,
I got to follow up after T-Rex.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man! I don't know if that's an honor or a curse. Hey, but listen. Uncle Mitch, and for the lack of a better term, I like that name, Uncle Mitch.
I like it.
So tell me, the last few games, the first half. They it looked like they're just toying around with the opponents. And then I don't know what happens at halftime. And actually, if I remember, I think you asked Teague's mother this.
Yep.
What is said in that locker room to get these guys, because when they come out, just like, I think the last game, I think Butler took the first shot in the second half, and boom, he made it, and he took the first shot today. And after that shot, I just knew they were going to just run the table.
Well, yeah, you're probably referring to Oklahoma State because Kansas State we were up 43-5 on them or something ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, I mean I think
right.
But Oklahoma State, you're right. I mean we're down 9 points in the first half and needed a big run in the second half. Today we're only up 5. There were some questionable calls. I thought the call on Mark Vital was a bad foul call. Yeah. Then they called the charge on gave Jonathan the charge and then they changed that.
So his foot was in the restricted area.
Oh, okay. So that's what they were looking at. All right, I didn't know that. But yeah. I mean, it's you're not gonna play your best every single game. I mean, but you gotta have the defense always has to be there. The rebounding always has to be there, and I'm sure that's what Drew was upset about in the halftime. Was like, look, guys, we're getting punked on the glass. We got to give better effort on the glass, and they certainly did in the second half.
Yeah, and then Meyer, oh my gosh, when that, I think the first few minutes of the game, I was going, here we go, and then that, after the second half, man, he just it's amazing what he can do, and I'm just kind of curious if he had more playing time, where would he be right now?
If he was more apt on the defensive end, then of course the playing time would go up, and there's no telling where he would be. I mean, he's a monster.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen improvement. Every year we've seen improvement, and he's getting better. And so hopefully as he continues to mature and progress, he'll be a lockdown defender because, those starters, I mean, Flo's playing pretty good defense. Maceo and Jared have picked up their defense to another level. And then, of course, Davion and Mark are 2 of the best defenders in the country. So, I think overall – and Adam locks up. Adam's playing really good defense, and Jonathan plays good defense. I mean, the defense has been outstanding. I mean, you can't. And who's this?
It's the last one on the line. It says it's Brenda Mitchell from Hinesville, Georgia.
Oh, that's my mom. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Brenda, how you doing?
Hi. It's not the mother. It's the cousin that has a question. We know Davion played other sports, but why did he settle on basketball?
That's a great question.
So that is my daughter.
Okay.
From Hinesville, Georgia, Davion's cousin.
Awesome.
He played other sports. Davion was great in football and baseball. I think baseball is probably his top sport. He was great in baseball.
Really?
But basketball, he fell in love with it. I mean, he's 7, 8, 9 year old when he kind of separated himself from others. That's when I was coaching him and looking at him like, okay, he's different. And he just fell in love with basketball. He stopped playing football, I think, 7th grade.
Yeah.
And he was running back and scored a lot of touchdowns and super fast, but he cut it out 7th grade and just relied on basketball. Thanks for calling in, Talia. Now it's time to go to sleep.
How many kids do you have?
I have two kids, a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Hey, well, that was a great question. Hey, what do you play in baseball?
Shortstop.
Shortstop, yeah.
Shortstop in baseball and running back in football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. We always say he could be an All-American defensive back if he put his mind to it.
Right, yeah.
I mean, probably a running back also. But, Yeah, that's I got it. So here's a couple text questions we've got. One is you've already commented on Meyer. He asked Rifle Bear says, do you think our 4-guard lineup has better ball movement and spacing for our guards to create? Do you like it when we play one big in and 4 guards out?
I love the 4-guard out thing. The only thing I would say about that, I hate that we wait so late to get into our emotion.
Right.
I mean, we'll move the ball around for 15, 20 seconds, then 10 seconds left on the clock, and then we'll start doing something. But I love the 4-guard, and I love the 5-0, like Mark at the 5 or JTT at the 5. So I like that. But our 4-guard lineup is strong, best in the nation easily.
Right. And then he also says, I don't think I've ever seen a player go from an average 3-point shooter with long rebounds to an excellent 3-point shooter in back-to-back seasons. Yeah. Just noticing how much Davion's improved with the 3-point shot.
Good. He's putting in work. He's starting to show.
Yeah.
Proud of him.
Pam says, she says, have you ever seen a coach boot off the floor before?
Oh, my God. Yeah, I have. I have.
That probably happens more than that you would think.
Right,
let's see if we got any other questions here. Jonathan, he asked about Davion's reasons to transfer to Baylor and the insinuation that Pearl made. We've already answered that.
Right.
JJ Joe says, "Come on, Ash, bring the energy on the post game." He doesn't like my energy so far.
Gosh.
All right, I'll try to bring it up a notch here. What else? That's all the text for now. Any other calls, or we got any calls in the hole?
1 sec. They need to screen for a second.
Okay. We'll keep talking while you're screening that call. So,
I got a question.
Yeah.
Tuesday, the Texas game. Are there no fans allowed?
No fans.
That sucks, man. I'll be here too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not leaving till Wednesday.
Oh, man.
That sucks.
Well, now I say no. There's no fans, but maybe they got a family pass list. I mean, you should check on that.
I am. I'll check into that first thing Monday.
Or maybe we need to say that you're a SicEm365 reporter.
There you go. Give me a badge, man.
We'll see what we can do. We'll see if there's a Crash Davis says, have you ever not seen a coach get booed off the court?
Have you ever not? That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, Pearl, man, we were getting into him pretty good on the sidelines there. There was lots of comments being made about his comments about Davion, and obviously, he was certainly taking great liberties with that coaching box. I mean, he was on the floor a lot.
Yeah, he's always done that.
Yeah,
he's a great guy, great coach. I'll say that, great coach. But he does. He gives the refs a hard time all game, and he never stays in his box. But.
No doubt. All right, Jack, who do we got?
We got Glad Kolinovsky from Grand Prairie. You're on the Impact Health Labs caller line.
How you doing? You're on the SicEm365 post-game show.
Hi. Before the season, Ashley, you and Mr. Mitchell did a long analysis on Davion Mitchell and what he needed to improve in his offensive game.
Right.
How do you see he has responded in that offensive game this year based on what y'all were projecting that he needed to do?
So far, so good. He's responded well. 2 for 2 from the free throw line today. I know last year, I don't know what his free throw percentage was, but Davion, you got to get in the 80s. If you get to 80%, so right now, before this game, I think he was at 71%, so he moved up there.
74% now.
74% good. Shooting about 48 from the 3 now. Last year he was 32. So I mean he's
47 still.
47. Okay, so he responded well, and I'm just proud of him, happy for him, and he's put in a lot of work, and it's starting to show. He just has to keep it up.
Yeah, and obviously the assist rate's gone up tremendously. He's assist rate's 30.2 according to Ken Palm, top 100 in the country. His offensive ratings 124. Last year he was 199 at Auburn, so that's a huge jump. He's made big leaps on the offensive end, and obviously the 3-point shooting is the most visible, but the assists have exploded as well. So just a terrific all around offensive improvement from him, no doubt about it.
He's going to keep those turnovers down.
Yeah, and a lot of those lately have been charges,
right.
But he went through a stretch. We were texting back and forth about this, but early in the year, it seemed like early in the game he would have a turnover early.
First 2 possessions, turnover. I guess he did that just to go ahead and get him out of the way.
Right.
He'll have 2 turnovers in the first minute, and then he won't turn the ball over the rest of the game.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
dude, what are you doing? Me and Davion talked about that a lot.
Right. Any follow-up calls? Any questions? I mean, did you have a follow-up question?
Did you expect this much improvement?
I did. Like I said, when Davion came home, every time he comes home to Georgia, I mean, he comes to my house. He'll be home for 3 or 4 days, and I'll see him one time, maybe twice, because he lives in the gym. He's always at the gym. My mom runs the gym, and he's always up there. He wants to work out 6 a.m., he'll work out at noon. He wants to go back at 10 o'clock at night. So he's always in the gym. So me knowing Davion and the way he grew up and the way he lives in the gym, I expected it, and I'm just glad it's blossoming. I'm glad he's going through what he's going through.
Yeah. And I think another thing you and I talked about, Derek, is last year he was a little more emotional with the referees, and I could see he mentioned that on our podcast this past week with Jason King. But he's been kept his composure. I mean, he still gripes at calls every once in a while, but he does it in a way where his body language is a lot better.
Yeah, that's big time. I talked to him about that too. Like Davion, last year it seemed like every time the whistle blew, he would sprint to the ref. Like, dude, leave the refs alone. Because I've been watching basketball 42 years. I've never seen a ref change his call when a player goes up and talks to him. Say, Dave, leave the ref alone. Now, if you go talk to him respectfully, that's different. Like, hey, Mr. Ref, can I ask you a question? Right. So he's gotten better on that.
Yeah, it shows, no doubt about it. Well, thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Any other calls in the hole? We got one in the hole. Jack?
Yep. Baxter, you're on the call-in line.
Hey, Baxter.
Yeah, is that me? How's it going, guys?
Good.
What's going on, Baxter?
Good. Okay. I love the fact that Baylor has a deep bench and, plenty of guys can step up and take minutes. But, these athletes like Davion, their athleticism, their stamina, their conditioning is incredible. And so I've never seen Davion, I don't think, look winded or exhausted. And so I just wondered, what's the right amount of minutes that Davion himself, if it weren't for foul trouble or things like that, how many minutes out of a 40-minute game would he want to have? All 40 or about 36? Or, what's the right amount for kind of a conditioned athlete like him?
Well, with Davion, he probably wants to play all 40. Know him, but he does get winded. I know when he's tired. He was tired today, second half, maybe about the 6-minute mark or 5 minute, and Coach Drew took him out. But I think Coach Drew and Coach Tang do such a great job of interchanging those guards with even LJ Cryer getting time and giving someone a breather. LJ came in, did a good job, didn't turn the ball over. Yep. But Davion, he wants to win. That's it. I mean, if Coach plays him 25 minutes and he wins, Davion's the happiest person. If he has to play all 40, as long as they win, he just wants to win ball games. So, I mean, I shout out to Coach Drew and the whole coaching staff for, interchanging those guys, giving everybody a breather. But I know one thing, Davion does not look at his minutes. He's like, hey, I just want to play, and we win, I'm good.
Yeah, this is Boxer, Jeff on the board. I didn't recognize your voice at first, Jeff. But the other thing I think is today, at least, he only played 31 minutes, but it's because he got in foul trouble. Right. So Drew was kind of managing that the first half and took the risk, put him in when he's like, all right, this game's too close, we need to lift. Put Davion back in. Right. But then I noticed I think he took him out near the end of the half to make sure he didn't get that third foul.
Cheap foul, right?
Yeah, right. But, he played most of the second half, right?
He played most. He took him out like 5 or 6 minutes left. I could tell he was winded and gave him a quick breather. But the thing is, when Davion's on the bench, I notice it when I'm at home watching. He's looking at Tang like, hey, you ready for me, Tang? Like, dude, you just sit down. Take a breather, put some Gatorade in you. I mean, I saw it live today because I'm at the game. But when he's on the bench, he's staring at Tang. When the ball, like, Tang, you ready for me? And Tang will look at him like, hold on, Dave, just, get a little breather. So he just wants to play.
Well, that's good. As you would think everyone wants to play, but occasionally you'll see guys like kind of motion, no, I don't want to go in. And you're like, what? I mean, this is the most valuable thing you can have is playing time. But, awesome.
Well, let me ask you one other thing about Davion, if you don't mind. Just, never talked to him, heard him interviewed or whatever, but he really, some guys just seem like thinkers. They fewer words, more thinking. When he does say something, it weighs a lot because he thinks it through. I mean, is that kind of how he is? Because that's the impression. He always looks like he's calculating something, when you look into his eyes. Is that it, or is he just fooling us all?
No, that's funny. He's just working on his interview process, because when he first got in school, when even as a freshman, he wasn't that good at interviews, long-winded answers or not thinking the question all the way through. So I can tell when he does his interview, even the podcast he did with you and Jason the other day, he just listened to the question thoroughly, and he's just taking his time answering because he's just trying to get better during the interview process.
Yeah.
He's gotten better.
Right, but even on the court, it looks like he's calculating and he's analyzing, just kind of at a different level, maybe from the average guy out there.
He probably is. I mean, not in the overthinking way, but Davion, in his mind, he's looking at the score like, okay, we're up 12 now. Should I push it? Should I slow it down? Let me get this person involved. So he's just his mind's always racing, and it's just strictly basketball. What can I do to help this team go up 20 points? And whatever I can do to help me win. When someone's shooting a free throw, I'll look at him like, okay, he's back there thinking, like looking at the scoreboard. We're up 14. All right, let's slow it down and get a good shot. So, yeah, he does not overthink, but he does a lot of deep thinking, which helps the team.
Yeah, there's a couple of those backdoor cuts in the first half where I got a perfect view of him. He was frustrated. He's like, I probably frustrated himself, or maybe frustrated the rotations. I don't know what it was, but he was like, I did not want to give that bucket up. That was too easy. You could tell that was the body language he was giving off.
And I know, looking at the score, we won 14. I think when we were
12.
We won by 12. When we were up 21, I think he wished the game would end. He wanted to win by 20. I know. He wanted to win, but he's happy with the win. He's happy with the victory.
Yeah. You love to hear that. I mean, there's going to be some, games where, obviously there are going to be a couple more games that are a lot closer than we've seen so far. Our lowest margin right now is 8-point victory. Would you say? Do you think the Texas game is going to be the toughest one of the year?
I think so.
And then maybe Oklahoma at Oklahoma.
That's a trap game. That's tricky. Oklahoma's always been a tough team, especially when we go there. So that's going to be tough. But when the schedule came out, Texas was circled on my calendar. That's going to be a tough game because they're
experienced.
They're very experienced, and like you said, with Sims down there, with Brown down there, and I can't think of the other big, but they got some lengthy dudes.
Kai Jones,
yeah. Yep. So, and they got veteran guards. So they're a tough team. Defensively, I think we're a lot better. Just if we lock in all game, we can get it.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. That's going to be a terrific game. Obviously, it's going to be they've moved it to 6. Was that moved because of another team canceling a game?
I don't know. It was 8 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 8.
I saw it moved to 6.
Well, I don't know if that's been officially announced.
Yeah, I think it has.
Okay.
It has.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. I think Baylor tweeted out, said, "Hey, change the time." So,
yeah, good. So we got a couple more text questions, but do we have any calls on the line?
Yeah, we got one.
Hey, thanks, Jeff. Appreciate the call.
Connie, you're on. Sorry.
Who's this?
Gunny. This is Gunny.
Hey, what's up, man?
Gunny, I'm sorry, Gunny.
There's no telling how this call's going to go.
Didn't recognize me. That's all right. I was thinking person. Hey, Uncle Eric and Hodge, thank you for having me on. I've enjoyed the banter. Hodge, as you know, I'm a football guy.
Right.
But now that Baylor, now that we're a basketball school, I'm doing my best to get educated. So I've enjoyed doing this with y'all. My question was, I noticed at the end of the game that Bruce Pearl seemed to be experiencing a severe case of butt hurt. He even got beat up for it. And so I was wondering if maybe Bill Self could recommend a good butt rash cream for him.
Do they still do the Boudreaux's butt paste? I know when my kids were young, I was a big buyer of Boudreaux's butt paste. Is that still a thing?
That stuff works really well. Yeah, on diaper rash might work for about her grown up as well.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got. Y'all have a great evening. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so we got any other calls on the line now, Jack? All right, we got a couple of text questions. All right, can Derek give us a percentage of Davion returning next year? I mean, obviously, he's just going to make the best decision at the end of the year, right? Is that the answer that we're going to say?
He's going to make the best decision at the end of the year.
Right. The way he's playing, I would get to the Farrell Center. Make sure you enjoy him this year, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So a lot can happen before then. All right, so we got another question from Rifle Bear. How much do you want for the ball and shoes?
Oh, my God.
These were gifts from Baylor basketball. They were very generous. They gave us a lot of basketballs. So we might be able to make a deal. We might be able to, Rifle, since you've been such a great basketball fan, if you make your way to Waco, we might be able to give you a Baylor basketball. Figure out a way to do that. What else do we got here? Let's see if there's any other questions. El Mariachi says, tell Derek he can come to my house to watch the game on Tuesday.
Okay.
So you've already got a personal invitation.
We got food?
Oh, yeah, he'll have food for you.
Shoot me an address, man. I might do that.
You may have a taker, El Mariachi.
Hey, I might. Shoot me an address. If Shaka doesn't want to let me in to cheer on my guys, then I might have to go somewhere.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we got any more questions here on the text line.
You got one. Call.
We got a call. All right, let's take the call. You're on.
Franco, you're on.
Franco, what's up, my man?
Not a lot. Just wanted to say this is my long time calling, first time listening. And Ashley, I got to say that you're my favorite. And you'd be more of my favorite if you had a bigger height to wingspan ratio. What do you like, a +1?
Yeah, on a good day, I'm probably an even guy, a +0. But I think actually Charlie Melton measured me. We had a Kings Court deal where we did some podcasts with King McClure. We had all the team, interviewed for that podcast session, but we also did something with Grayson where we went through like the combine drills.
I remember that. I saw that.
There was some embarrassing footage being put out, but the wingspan, they measured us, and I believe he measured me +1. So I'm going to go with that.
Wingspan matters, huh?
That's right. Well, I only when I call, I only throw fastballs. So
yeah,
for Uncle Mitch, do you think Davion's coming back to Baylor next year?
We just answered that. You're accurate when you said you haven't listened much, but no, he just answered it. He just said he's going to make the best decision possible at the end of the season.
There we go.
Okay, well I guess that was more of a change up then. Next, after the game, Bruce Pearl said something to the effect of Baylor left their starters in to the end of the game to try to increase their scoring margin.
Did he really?
Wow.
Do we need a little violin for Bruce? I mean, come on, man.
I'm not surprised.
Would Bruce Pearl benefit more from some Saab or some Vagisil?
Wow.
Oh my goodness, that's a great question. What was the first option? I heard the Vagisil. What was the first option?
Saab.
What did he say?
Saab.
Okay, I don't understand what you're
saying.
Like
cream. Saab.
Okay.
Cream,
yeah, I'll say the cream to be PC. Anything else, Franco?
No, I'm out of fastballs.
All right, we got to put together that Oklahoma trip again, man. That was a lot of fun last year. We took a bus to Oklahoma.
Yeah, you never answered that question. We should have done that.
Yeah, we need to do that. No doubt about it. All right, we got some texts.
All right, have a good.
Hey, thank you for the call. We really appreciate it. Any other calls in the hole there, Jack? All right, so we got some text to answer. All right, this is from Kendall Kaut. Great show. What really helped Baylor be the pick over? What was the decision that helped Baylor be the pick over Clemson and Ohio State when he did transfer?
Just the fact that they didn't have a point guard. Makai Mason was a senior, and they needed a point guard. And like I said, the way the Coach Drew and the coaching staff said, hey, we really want you. We need you to run our show. And another thing that brought Davion in was Maceo Teague was lingering.
Yeah,
he had left UNC Asheville, and it was rumors that he was thinking about coming to Baylor. And Davion looked his highlights up, looked him up, and Davion actually they talked on the phone, and they loved talking to each other, and that was an added bonus for Davion too.
Yeah, and they've really had kind of a special friendship at Baylor.
Yeah. So that was big. Davion, knowing that Maceo, he had Maceo in the wing. He said, "Hey, I want to go there. I think I can bring Maceo in." So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Iron sharpens iron, and you and I talked about this, but. if Tyler Harris had committed to Baylor, then Davion was probably going to Ohio State or Clemson, right?
Yeah, not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank God for unanswered prayers, right?
Yeah. The thing is, Davion committed here the day after Tyler Harris committed to Memphis.
Yeah.
We were watching it live, and when he picked the Memphis hat up over the dreaded Baylor hat.
That was Franco. Franco, the guy that just called, loves to talk about that hat and how scrubby it is. Yeah. He actually tried to buy it from Tyler Harris. He kept messaging him saying, "Hey, will you sell me that hat?" Wow. So the next question from Kendall is, what's helped Davion guard big men in the post so well? Like, why is he so efficient at being able to front big men? And
I think he's just so strong. I mean, he like you said, gets in front of him, and he's just so strong that you can't push him out of there. Even the big men, they're long.
Yeah.
But he's so strong that you're not gonna, be able to bow him out. And Baylor's help side defense does a great job. As soon as they throw it over the top, someone's there to, block the big man or at least tie the ball up. So.
Yeah, and Sharif got one over his head today, and Davion was upset about that one too. But he does a good job also of his vertical, obviously, and being able to block the attempts to throw it over his head. So great questions, Kendall. Thank you for those. Let's see, one more question from Rifle Bear. Where have you seen Mitchell grow the most off the court at Baylor?
I'd probably say his interviews, speaking. I mean, like I said, when he first left high school, left Georgia, he was kind of timid behind the microphone, behind the camera, but the way he slows down and answers questions. So I would say he just being a better talker. I mean, you said off the court, but a communicator on the court has been doing that good. But off the court, he's just been doing, good in school and just doing what he has to do to graduate and just doing real good in the interview process, I would say.
Awesome. It's kind of interesting. There was a little bit of a couple moments in the first half where, it was tight. I think they tied it up maybe a time or two. Mm-hmm. But actually, like Ken Palm, according to Ken Palm, they said that Baylor was never below like a 93% winning probability. Wow. So even when it was like, a close game in the first half, according to the advanced metrics of Ken Palm, and then by the time it got to be, Baylor was up 53-40, that went darn near 100%, like pretty much hovered at the 100% line from that point forward. Yeah. So just tremendous separation from the Bears. All right, I'm gonna make sure that there's no other questions on text. I think that's it. Nothing in the hole as far as
we've got another T-Rex call if you want. You want it?
Why not? One more T-Rex. Let's wrap it up on the SicEm365 postgame show.
Hey, gentlemen. How y'all doing? Long-time listener, first-time caller, I just wanted to know if Uncle Mitch there is going to be in Lawrence on February 27th because it takes two to party, baby. So you let me know if you're going to be in town because we're going to burn Lawrence down.
No, I wish
you better be there. If you need help, help getting there, you let me know.
T-Rex, I got something to tell you, man. You don't even know this, but those shoes that you wear, they're from me. You don't even know that. The Kobe's.
That's from you?
The Kobe's. Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness. I didn't even realize that was you, brother.
I didn't want you to realize it. But as far as the Lawrence game, no, I can't make the Kansas game. But I will be at the West Virginia game on, February the 15th, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my family are planning on going to that one. But I wish I could come to Kansas.
What about the NCAA tournament?
Well, hey, I appreciate the drip, man. It's the only thing I got on me that's fashionable with these shoes. So I appreciate it, brother. You have a good you get home safe. Hope you have if you're staying in Waco tonight, I'll see you at Scruffs.
I am. I'll be in Waco tonight. Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks, T-Rex. What did I just ask you? Indianapolis. So I know that there's going to be a family that will be allowed in, and they're still debating fans.
Right.
The Colts have had like 10% capacity, so I think we're probably going to see a 10% capacity.
Yeah, I can't miss that.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Got to be there.
Yeah.
Got to be there. Yes, sir.
No doubt. All right. Anything else? We got one more call. Jack?
Yeah. Mandy wants to talk about the point spread. Mandy, you're on.
Hey, Mandy. I think it's 14.
Hey, this is Matt in D.C. How's it going?
Oh, hey, Matt. What's going on?
Well, I'm a bit torn tonight because I'm so happy we won. But as of I think it was last Thursday, the state of Virginia opened up their first sports book, and I got a free $100 signing up for FanDuel, and I took the over today. and I lost my $300. And now I see why people get addicted to this. And it's the first time in my life I've ever been upset after winning a Baylor anything. So, but it is what it is. But hey,
put them on speaker.
Hey, we got the win. It's great. And T-Rex is right. That is the only professional thing has ever owned. I can swear by that. I just heard you said you're coming up for the West Virginia game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Davion just called Derek right now, so we're going to put him on speaker.
Davion, you are live.
You're live on the SicEm365 post-game show, Davion.
Podcast with Ashley Hodge. You're live.
Great game today, man.
Anything you want to say to the fans?
Thank you for coming.
No, we about to. Y'all already there?
Yeah, we are.
All right, I'll call you in 2 minutes.
You're dialed in, man. Great game today.
He's trying to eat.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Matt, go on.
Oh yeah, I'll be at the West Virginia game. I plan on coming there February 15th.
Well, I didn't know if West Virginia were still allowing fans in, but if they are, I'm going to try to get there. So if you can make it up, hey, that place is loud and crazy. I had a blast last year, even though we took the L. But hey, Morgantown's awesome. But hey, hell of a win, and let's keep moving. Get healthy, and y'all guys keep doing what you're doing. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a tough beat because obviously Maceo missed the layup and would have put us up 16, I think, and then just a little bit of a sloppy turnover at the end.
Right.
We should have won by more than 16, but it is what it is. We won, and we won by double digits. Another double-digit win, 16-0. Next up, the Texas Longhorns. We're going to do a lot of pregame features for that one. Obviously, top 10 matchup. Going to be one of the best games of the season in the Big 12, and hopefully Baylor can take care of business and get that win. And that's it for the SicEm365 post-game call-in show with Ashley Hodge and Derek Mitchell, SicEm Bears.
Ashley, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Derek. Man, it was a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
All right, enjoyed it.